Hello and welcome to the next lesson, lesson number 2, an overview of English accents by region. We're going to do a lot today, and it's going to be a lot of listening for getting your ears ready to hear the differences between English accents. So let's get started. I really want you, for this lesson, your goals, to understand the broad regions of English accents. There's 5 of them. But then within those, I want you to hear the various dialects and accents at play. Now, there's way more than I could possibly cover in a 20-hour section of this course. However, I really want you to get an idea, just an idea of what is out there, of how much there is to really pay attention to in English, especially with the various ways that we speak, all things that we say, the way we say them, and even the various terms and terminology and vocabulary that we don't understand between one another. English has so many forms, and it's really important to understand how vast the English language is as an English language student. So, let's get started. The broad regions of English are 5. Britain and Ireland are kind of lumped together because of geography. North America, Oceania, Africa, and the Atlantic, and Asia. Now, these regions have many accents within them and dialects of those accents within them. However, like I just said, we're not going to get to everything. However, today we're going to get a very broad overview of the accents you can expect to encounter in this course. I want you to identify that these accents here are not based on their history. These accents are divided this way based on geography. Right? This is a very common way to break up the various accents. You can find this all over the internet, really. Wikipedia has some great articles, but English, right? That takes a lot of reading. But the main point is the accents are divided into 5 broad regions based on geography, not the root of their English accent. Keep that in mind. So let's go ahead and take a look. So Britain and Ireland refers to the wide variety of accents across Great Britain, Ireland, and many small nearby islands. This is perhaps the most varied in terms of how many accents and dialects are within this region, because Britain alone has such a rich variety of accents and dialects that it has been the source of linguistic scholar research for decades. Actually, probably a few hundred years, because it's quite vast and it is one of those things that is used in the realm of linguistics. It is used all the time to demonstrate how different various accents can be in a small space. Town to town, people sound very different, even today. Even in a more standardized society where you have central standardized TV and all of this, Britain still has such a rich diversity of dialects and accents. And yes, they are dying out as they go. We are going to look at some of the more broad ones, the ones that most people know with English in Britain. But it is very important to realize that accent, again, is a source of identity. It's a source of understanding who one thinks of themselves, who one thinks they are, is very much evidenced and reflected by their accent. So you can see that very well in England. I hope you one day get to go to Britain and the UK and get to experience that yourself. But for now, in this course, we're going to look at some of the broad ones, and then we're going to look at some others around them. You have probably heard the term standard British accent, or standard American accent, or standard Australian accent. The problem with that term standard is that there is no standard. You see, TV has chosen, newscasters have chosen a specific type of accent to use, and that's what a lot of teachers point to and say, this is standard American, or this is standard British English. The problem is that it's not. It's TV English, which is yet another dialect. So keep in mind that there is no standard in any of these regions. They are all rich in their variety and their diversity, and we should understand that. We should take that in, we should listen to it, choose to listen to it, appreciate it for what it is, and learn. You should not step in and expect to know what a standard American accent is or a standard British accent is, because there is no standard. We do not go to school and learn a standard English. Rather, we learn from people who sound just like us in our region. People simply label English accents as English, Irish, Scottish, or Welsh. You do have your Geordie and you have your various other Cockney accents within Britain, but typically, by and large, they're going to say one of these 4. All right, so go ahead and watch this video. Very, very broad. Again, not all of the wonderful accents in this area are represented. However, this is a great big overview of Scottish, Irish, and English accents compared for the first time. Go ahead and give it a listen.
In England, we say butter or butter.
In Scotland, we would say butter.
And in Ireland, we say butter, or we'd also say butter.
Butter?
Butter.
They're all pretty similar.
Depending where you're from.
I think yours is kind of similar.
Yeah, I think.
Butter.
Yeah.
I know in Ireland, we kind of have this soft T sound, so we it turns into like butter instead of the hard butter, you know.
I feel like in Scotland, we tend to cut out the T's, so instead of butter, it's just butter.
Yeah, we kind of do the same, depending where you're from.
Yeah.
It's the ER sound that's quite different.
Ireland definitely has the harder R sound.
You actually say the R.
In Scotland, we roll our R's a lot, like R, like
a pirate.
Roll, like a pirate. But I feel like when Scottish people speak, you can almost hear their tongue rolling.
In England, we say loch.
In Scotland, we say loch.
In Ireland, we say loch.
Loch is a really Scottish word though,
Yeah.
because it means lake.
Lake.
Loch Ness, for example.
Yeah.
Loch. And that's a really Scottish sound.
Yeah, the Irish language also has that too.
Exactly.
I feel like Scouse people would say loch.
Oh, really?
yeah,
that's pretty
guttural throat sound.
In England, we say twirl.
In Scotland, we say twirl.
In Ireland, we say twirl. Again, I
The
think
R
the R
sound,
sound,
yeah.
where England kind of skips over the R sound, we go full on twirl. Twirl.
Twirl.
Twirl.
And you know there's like
Having a
the
twirl.
chocolate bar?
Yeah,
twirl.
exactly.
I love that.
Twirl.
I love twirl.
Oh, it's so difficult. In England, we say coupon.
In Scotland, we say coupon.
In Ireland, we say coupon. Coupon.
Coupon? It's
That's
kind of
different.
like got an A
Coupon.
sound. It's like
Does it?
A-N.
We hardly use that word, I feel like. We use vouchers more, right?
Voucher.
Voucher, yeah. Voucher's more of a...
The more common word instead of coupon.
In England, we say tube.
In Scotland, we say tube.
In Ireland, we say tube.
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 Yeah, it's like a CH.
Yeah,
long-
we're similar.
Long
Yeah.
oo sound. Scotland's more short and rough. Tube.
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 Like you said, you're rough.
Rough
Like-
but friendly.
Yeah, the TU is always... My American friends always mock me for saying tune.
Yeah, we always
Like
CH
yeah.
the T at the start.
I think for the Scottish accent, it's just a lot more rough, the beginning syllable. So instead of t, it's more just ch. Tube.
Yeah.
In England, we say potato.
In Scotland, we say potato.
In Ireland, we don't say potato. We just say potato.
That sounded the same to me.
No, I'm trying not to be the stereotype.
Oh, but
Potato.
sometimes in Scotland we say tatties as well. Mince and tatties just means you're having mince and potatoes for dinner. Tatties is a very common word for potato as well. Otherwise, you just cut the T's out, potato.
And potatoes are great.
I love baked potatoes.
You can do everything with potatoes. Mash them, boil them, stick them in a stew,
Fry them. Exactly.
fry them, roast. I love them.
I'm so hungry. In England, we say tonight.
In Scotland, we say tonight.
In Ireland, we say tonight.
Oh, very pronounced.
Is that it?
At the
Tonight.
end, tonight.
Tonight. The soft T again.
Tonight.
Yeah. Tonight.
Oh,
Yeah.
tonight.
Oh, what was that?
It's really
I
nice.
like that. Yeah. Let's have a beer tonight.
Oh, I like that.
pint
You
tonight.
gotta cut off the end.
Do you want to come over tonight?
Tonight.
All just like very short.
It
I like
is.
it.
But I feel like when people come to Scotland for the first time, they have a really difficult time understanding the words because people cut out the T so much.
I feel like if there was like a really fast, long sentence, I'd be like, huh.
And then you add in some slang and it's just like
In England, we say photo.
In Scotland we say photo.
In Ireland, we say photo.
The T is so soft,
Yeah,
but it's
it's
there.
really-
It's
yeah, it's
there,
very
like
so
this
delicate.
much.
I guess the O sound is a little more O.
Yeah, it's more O. Yeah, photo. So no T sound.
Photo.
Take a 5 out.
Photo. In England, we say herb.
In Scotland, we say herb. Oh, herb. Some people say herb, some people say herb. I guess it depends on the people.
And in Ireland, we say herb.
What do you say, herb or herb?
I say herb.
No H sound?
Yeah.
So it's more
That
like...
might just be me though.
Maybe.
In England, we say ballet.
In Scotland, we say ballet.
In Ireland, we say ballet.
It's actually quite
pretty
similar.
I don't think there's anywhere you could really go different.
Exactly. Especially because it's a French word
guess so, yeah.
originally, right? So ballet.
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 Okay, so what do you think? What do you think of the 3 accents? Which 2 sound most similar? And how is Scottish English different from the other 2? And number 3, how is Irish English different from the other 2? If you don't remember, if you're having trouble answering these, go back and listen to the video again. All right, so number 1, the answer is Scottish and Irish accents. Those 2 were the most similar. Number 2, the Scottish English was different from the other 2 by rolling their R's. They rolled their R's a lot. She really rolled a lot of R's, and she pointed that out as well, that she rolls hers more. She also shortened words more than the other 2, and she cut out the T's almost all the time. So she would say something more like tonight rather than tonight. The Irish English is different from the other 2 in that it had a harder R sound, not a rolled R, but a hard R. He had soft T's. He did not lose the T sound. He just softened it. So tonight, rather than tonight, and against the Scottish, tonight, right? So he kept his T, but it was very, very soft on the end of words. Now, at the beginning of words, he did chew for like Tuesday instead of Tuesday. Instead of the t sound, he used ch. Tuesday. This is very common in Irish English. And it's actually something, fun fact, that we hear often in America from those that come from an Irish background. Maybe they have family who are Irish, or they listen to lots of Irish TV. Oftentimes, they will sound like Tuesday, instead of Tuesday. So, fascinating difference. And if you can't hear the difference yet, don't worry. By the time we get there, you will. This lesson here is all about getting an idea of the big picture, but it's also about getting your ears ready. Get your ears prepared to listen for these small differences. All right, North America, this is where I am from, is in America itself, but North America includes, of course, Canada and America. So both accents are represented. It does not include the Caribbean accents because the Caribbean accents don't learn English first. They learn other languages, and it's not widely enough spoken there to really include in this section. So go ahead and watch this video of a Canadian and American comparing vocabulary.
In the US, colored pencils.
Pencil crayons.
Pencil crayons?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. If we say crayon, it's just like a crayon.
But
So
this is a pencil plus a crayon.
Oh man, I didn't know that. That's the first time I've heard pencil crayon.
Really? Like,
Yeah.
I've never really heard color pencil.
Wow.
So it's just a pencil crayon.
Z.
Z.
Actually, other countries say Z too,
Yeah.
right? Is it just us that say Z?
I'm not sure. 'Cause
Yeah,
it's like-
I don't know anymore too, because I always thought Z coming from the US, but then I heard other countries, they say Z.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's a British influence. For us, it might most likely is
I
just
think
because
it may be.
the other places that you would hear English have been colonized by Britain, so.
Right. In America, we would say bathroom.
In Canada, we say washroom.
Yeah, I've heard washroom, but typically, yeah, you'd be like, oh, I'll be right back, I'm going to the bathroom.
In Canada, because we have influence from the UK and from America,
Yeah.
so we use all these terms interchangeably. So
Oh.
I will say bathroom one day, or I'll say washroom another day, or I might even say restroom.
Right. Okay.
So it really depends on who you're speaking to in Canada too. Someone who has more of a British influence will say more of like the British.
Yeah, so what do you use?
I use these two most, like bathroom and washroom. But if I want to sound more refined, I'll go with restroom.
In the US, we would say parking lot.
In Canada, we say parkade. Parkade.
Parkade? Like a parking parade?
Potentially. Like, this just makes more sense. Parkade, like or a parking lot. Parking lot is just one.
Yeah, parking lot is
Just one, and then parkade.
Parking garage, more than one. Oh, okay. I've never heard that before.
Yeah.
To me, like when I hear parkade, it's like a parking parade.
It's most likely, again, from the UK.
In the UK, they say that as well.
Maybe.
So in the US, this would be take a test.
In Canada, we say we write a test.
Write a test.
Yeah, I'll write a test tomorrow.
Oh, that's different. Yeah, I'm gonna take a test tomorrow. Never write.
We
would
say
take.
write or have. I have a test tomorrow.
Oh yeah, we would say I have a test as well, or I'm going to take a test. Cool.
Yeah.
A little different. In the US, we would say sneakers.
In Canada, we say runners.
Runners.
Yeah, we say runners a lot. Sneakers is also because a huge influence
Right.
from America. We'll also say sneakers, but yeah, runners are definitely very common.
Because you
to say.
run in
And
the
shoes,
shoes.
exactly, and
you
they're
run in
specifically-
runners.
Yeah.
This would be called soda in the US.
And that's called pop in Canada.
Ooh.
And
It depends where you live in the US too,
Yeah.
because there are some areas, some states that they would say pop as well, maybe closer to.
and there's like also pop soda.
yeah,
there's the
pop
combination.
soda and pop. Yeah, it's used a little bit differently depending where you're from, but where I'm from, we would say soda. We would never, like I've never heard
Yeah.
anyone ever say pop
Yeah,
in
same
the
for
East
me.
Coast.
Same for me. It's always pop. Never would we say soda.
In the US, we would say napkin or paper napkin.
Okay, in Canada, we'll say, we have two ways. We'll say it's either serviette or a napkin. So it also depends on the area as well in Canada. Some areas in Canada will specifically say serviette a lot more, while others will say napkin a lot more.
Is that a French word?
I think it's
Sounds
probably
like
from-
it sounds like a French word.
yeah, serviette. Yeah, it's the East Coast, east side that says serviette a lot more, and then my side, the west side, says more napkin.
But if you heard serviette, then you would know what
perfectly
it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
I use serviette.
I was gonna say, can I have a serviette?
Yeah. May I have a serviette, please?
So in the US, we would call this cigarette or like cigs, ciggies.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Same. Like for us, we'll say smokes or cigarettes. So some of the younger generations might even say ciggies as well. Like
Yeah,
I said, like as a slang. But yeah, definitely smokes and cigarettes are the common phrases.
Yeah, I've heard some people say smokes in the U.S. as well sometimes, but yeah, it depends on the person too.
And what influences they've had. on
Yeah,
social
yeah.
media.
There's so many different ways to call it. So in the U.S., we would call this a fire station.
We call it in Canada a fire hall or a fire station.
Oh, fire hall.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's
Maybe because it's a big building.
yeah,
in
it's like
general.
a big place, so it's
like a hall,
similar,
right?
similar to like a hall building. Okay, cool.
Yeah, I've always heard like fire hall or fire station.
Okay, in the U.S., we would say 1 kilometer.
In Canada, we say 1 kilometer as well. You will say like a click.
A click?
Yeah.
Really?
A click, yeah, or a kilometer. We have, like, again, we use both. Click doesn't come to mind right away, but yeah, we do say it.
Oh.
Especially I know a lot of my friends in central Canada will say, because it's the prairies, so it's much flatter, and there are a lot of driving to be done there, so people will say click a lot, like, oh, it's a couple clicks away.
Interesting. Because click, when I think of click, I just think like, you know, click with the mouse. Like,
Click, click. So like 1 click is like 1 kilometer, that one rotation.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's the first time I'm hearing that. too.
Yeah. Oh wow, I haven't heard that for a while.
In the US, we would call this a sofa.
In Canada, we'll say a couch, or even sometimes people say a Chesterfield.
In Chesterfield?
Chesterfield is more British.
Really?
It's definitely more British, but we'll say couch or Chesterfield.
Oh, yeah, the US would be sofa or couch. Couch, it really depends. I think it's 50-50.
I think it's all three for us.
Chesterfield?
Yeah.
That's like, sounds like a
very
place.
British. It's very
I'm
very British. Chesterfield, and then we'll have couch, and then we'll have sofa.
I'm going to buy a Chesterfield in Chesterfield.
But also, like, sometimes our connotation of like a Chesterfield can be sort of different too compared to a couch.
Okay, that really sounds like a town name.
It could be, yeah.
I think
maybe
it really
someone
is a
from
town.
Chesterfield made the Chesterfield.
Exactly, that's
And
where
so
it
how
came
you
from.
got
of
the
the Chesterfields. So in the US, we're having fried chicken for dinner, right?
In Canada, we would say we're having fried chicken for dinner, eh?
Hey.
Or we could say right as well. So it also depends
okay.
on, like if you're more city, you might say right or hey.
Oh, okay.
It depends on like, I've heard right, hey, and a.
Oh.
In central Canada as well, it's mainly like hey or a or a.
Hey or
Yeah.
hey.
We're having fried chicken for dinner, hey?
Oh, I've heard it. It's a very like kind of like stereotypical
Yeah.
thing that Canadians say A. If I see some like YouTube videos, people making kind of fun of it, then I hear it. Yeah, I hear a lot of like the A.
Yeah, I say a lot.
Yeah, I've
And
met some Canadians.
I even write it all the time.
Oh, yeah.
Especially, it's just the perfect, it's an emphasizer as well.
Exactly.
A is an emphasizer and it's also a tag question. And so that was so cool, eh?
Yeah, yeah.
Type thing. So it's type thing. So we use it as just like an emphasizer
Yeah.
as well. And so I'll type it and it's really hard for me not to use A in those situations, and especially for teaching.
Oh,
I'm like,
that's-
that was so cool. A.
A.
Right?
Right. No, you can say A. You know, if I was around more Canadians, I feel like I would pick up and I would say A a lot too.
My one Finnish friend, he started picking up A and he was like, it's you.
Okay, so these are really broad questions that I bet you can answer without having to watch the video again. How is Canadian English influenced? Where do the Canadians get their English from? And which English has a more flexible vocabulary? Flexible meaning just very robust, very various words for the same word, lots of different understandings and different ways to explain the same thing. So Canadian English is by far the more flexible vocabulary, and it's because they receive input from both British and American English. Lots of input from both. So they use vocabulary words. They use both the British and English vocabulary words for many things, like the American bathroom versus the British washroom, the American sneakers versus the British runners. Well, really, I think British English actually says joggers, while Canadians say runners. But either way, they have a lot of influence for British English. In America, we understand some of this vocabulary, but some British vocabulary we don't understand at all. Until we look it up, or somebody brings it up in a conversation, or we find it ourselves, we don't always know or understand these vocabulary words. So, very fascinating. And Canadians, they can stand in between these two cultures and understand, converse, and help translate for those of us who don't understand. Oceania. This is a vast region, lots of islands. So this includes Australia, New Zealand, Norfolk Island, Pitcairn, as well as all the other islands around that area that do speak English. So this is more isolated, just like we all know from world history. Australia, New Zealand, Norfolk Island, Pitcairn, they're all very, they are far more isolated than the rest of the world. There's a definite British English background here. I've told you before in the last lesson that you really need to pay attention to the history of a region to understand their accent, how it developed, where it came from, and why it is the way it is today. Oceania is a great example of this. You really need to pay attention to their background. It comes from British English primarily. There's fewer dialect variants, and that's because of geography. One, because they're so isolated, way down there in the southern hemisphere as they are. But two, Australia has a huge swatch of land in the center that cannot be inhabited very easily. Only 1% of the population actually lives in the middle of Australia. So most people live along the edges of Australia, right? But that means that the accent just doesn't change as much as it does in, say, America, where we have lots of mountain ranges and we have lots of plains and we have lots of ocean and beaches and we have all kinds of ecological differences. But those big rivers and those mountains really change how an accent is isolated or how it moves, how it evolves over time. It is also true of Australia. They also have all of those things, but they don't have people living in the middle, which is a big deal. But that, in addition to population size, their dialect just really comes in three major forms. So, very interesting that Australia alone has a great history. But again, You can study this on your own, and we'll get to it a little bit more when we get to that section of the course, but definitely pay attention to the differences you're about to hear. Go ahead and watch this video and answer the question.
How to tell an Australian from a New Zealander. We can use the kit vowel. In Australia, there's a realization that is not too far off from my own American accent, for instance, something like an I sound. An Australian might say that something like this.
Myth, myth, myth.
New Zealanders tend to centralize this sound. So instead of the tongue being arched up a little bit towards the front of the mouth, it's relaxed down a little bit towards the middle of the mouth, and you get something closer to a schwa, kut. You can hear that here.
Myth, myth, myth,
Myth,
and myth,
myth.
and myth.
So there's one actually very famous phrase that you can use that you could ask somebody at a cocktail party, say, to pronounce, to try to tell whether they're an Australian or a New Zealander if you're not sure. And that phrase would be fish and chips. An Australian might say that something like this.
Fish and chips, fish and chips, fish and chips.
Whereas the New Zealand version might sound more like this.
Fish and chips, fish and chips, fish and chips,
Fish and chips,
fish and chips,
fish and chips.
fish and chips.
Okay, that one was pretty short. This is an accent expert, well known in America, but he is saying that the main difference that everybody knows, the most popular difference perhaps between these two accents is fish and chips versus fish and chips, right? The I sound, they have that mouth raising that's going on in there where they lift. New Zealanders will lift the middle of their tongue to make the I sound, so it comes more like and then the Australian I is more of an ich, right? They really hit that I sound. So fish and chips versus fish and chips. All right, and if you don't understand the difference between those, you are not the first one. I did not hear it either years ago when I learned of this difference. So of these two accents, the Australian and New Zealand accent are somewhat considered the closest English accents in the world, for good reason, but there are definite differences, particularly with vowels between the two of them. So we'll get into that more as we get to it. But in the meantime, I really want you to listen to both accents. I want you to listen to them speak for longer. I want you to watch the Australian accent first, and they are not focusing on pronunciation here at all. I want you to hear it naturally for an extended time to, one, get your ears accustomed to hearing the two accents, but also to give you a great long example of each one so that you can compare them and see what you can hear. See if you can warm up your ears to hear the differences here. Go ahead, give it a listen.
G'day guys, today we are celebrating Robert Irwin's 18th birthday, can you believe it, right here at Australia Zoo. And we have an extra special surprise, we can't wait. Now Farah, one of the Irwin's close friends, who actually is the owner of the big kart track here on the Sunshine Coast, has decided to gift back all of the bikes that Robert has auctioned off over the years to raise money for Wildlife Warriors. It's a big surprise. I think he's here.
Well, I'll give it a go.
That was the Australian accent. If you are not yet saying gate, I don't know how, or no way, right? There's lots of great Australian accent going on in here. So go ahead and listen to the New Zealand accent. Listen to how she says her vowels in particular. Okay, the Australian vowels really stand out in the Australian accent. They also stand out in the New Zealand. I want to see if you can hear the difference, especially when she says anything like, in American English, I would say back, right? But she's going to say it a little different. Pay attention.
Hello YouTube! Today I'm moving away from my role as observer of the French culture and I'm going back to my roots and talking about what New Zealanders are like and what the New Zealand culture is like. I've been getting quite a few questions on this topic about people who are either wanting to travel to New Zealand for a long time or actually move there. And they're saying, I know that the country is beautiful and there's a lot of amazing things to see, but what are the actual New Zealanders themselves like? What does it mean to be a Kiwi? And obviously this question is massive, but I'm going to give it my best shot. I'm going to talk a little bit about the Kiwi people, what it means to be a New Zealander, what the kind of general attitudes and behaviors might be, so that you know more or less what to expect when you hit the ground in New Zealand. So I think just quickly, before diving into cultural specificities, it's really important to understand the heritage of New Zealand and who the people are making up this country. So first and foremost, you have our indigenous population, the Maori people, and the Maori people came hundreds of years before the European settlers, traveling from the Pacific Islands by waka or by canoe all the way to New Zealand. Then in 1769, English voyager arrives in New Zealand with his ship full of men, and they are officially the first European settlers to discover New Zealand. From the 1850s onwards, there was huge mass immigration coming from all of the United Kingdom and a lot of areas in Northern Europe as well. What we've seen is continued immigration to New Zealand. We're really a melting pot kind of culture. So as we stand today, it is quite mixed. You've got this group that we call New Zealand European, which could be, you know, Holland, Scottish, Irish, English descent, whatever. But we're talking, you know, 3, 4, potentially 5 generations back. In addition to that, we've got about 15% of people identifying as Māori or of Māori origin. We've got 11% coming from Southern or Eastern Asia, and around 8% identifying as Pacific Islander. 1.5 million live in Auckland City, so it's our biggest city by far, and this particular city is second only to London when it comes to the amount of diversity and multiculturalism in one city per capita. So there's always going to be exceptions when you're talking about culture, but in general, what are the New Zealand people like? Well, maybe it's because of our immigrant heritage, but we are renowned worldwide for being very friendly and very warm and very welcoming. It was actually Forbes magazine recently that did a study looking at all expats around the world, their level of happiness and their levels of integration into society. And what they found is that in New Zealand, 75% of expats said that it was easy to fit into the culture there, which is huge. And I get this all the time whenever I introduce myself over in Europe, like, hey, I'm from New Zealand. People are like, oh, I went to New Zealand. The people were so friendly. And I think it is something that we do value as a society, is definitely being welcoming, helping others, opening your doors to people you don't even know, because it's all part of being a community. The downside, of course, of being nice or kind-hearted or whatever you want to call it is that Kiwis are incredibly conflict avoidant and they have a really hard time saying no. So I think for more direct cultures like Germans, Dutch, maybe the French, maybe Russians, New Zealanders might drive them mad because we don't really like to say no, and we don't really like to give people negative feedback. For example, if someone asks a New Zealander, hey, do you want to go out to a concert this weekend? And a New Zealander replies to you like, oh yeah, could do. Maybe. They're probably not very interested, to be honest. New Zealanders are super enthusiastic, so if they're saying, yeah, cool, sure, what time, that's a good sign. If they're kind of avoiding it like, oh, I'll have a think about it, that's kind of your signal. Obviously linked to this friendliness is the fact that New Zealand is one of the world's happiest countries. So according to the World Happiness Report by the United Nations, New Zealand is the 8th most happiest country in the world. And when I'm looking at the countries who rank higher than New Zealand, it's very much Norway, Finland, Sweden, Switzerland, Canada, and I'm like, but it's so cold there. And I think you'll find that in the attitude of people. There's definitely an optimism, a she'll be right, let's keep going, kind of solution-oriented attitude with the New Zealand people. They're kind of yes people, yep, let's give it a...
Fascinating, right? Okay, so what sounds were the most different that you heard between these two accents? Think about the vowels, specifically the I, the A, and the E sound. We're going to flesh these out a lot more in the future, but particularly in these terms here. G'day, mate, right? In your classic Australian phrase, but then you have no way, right? They kind of sound similar here, but the Australian goes more like why, whereas the New Zealander says something a little different with way, but she also says beck, instead of back. Okay, so very fascinating differences here. All right, Africa in the Atlantic. So this includes the Falkland Islands, St. Helena, South Africa, Zimbabwe, Namibia, and so many other places where English is the primary language spoken or taught in schools. Each of these are somewhat isolated with definite British roots, but they are so heavily influenced by the languages originally spoken there. You've got to think that many of the people in this area have 2 languages or 3 or 4 languages under their belt, but it's just because of the region that they live in. So as such, those other languages they speak or they grew up speaking heavily influence their English. What's fascinating though, the way that they speak is so representative of the languages around them, which is so cool. I love hearing these accents. So outsiders often confuse them with British or Australian accents. I want you to listen to them and see if you feel the same way. Go ahead and watch this accent challenge between a Nigerian, a Jamaican, and a South African. Go for it.
Alright, today I have 2 beautiful ladies with me and we're going to be doing the accent challenge. In case you don't know what that is, we have some words with us and we're going to say it according to our accents. Like we're not forming, we're saying it the way we say it in our house. So yes, today I have here with me
Gavaskia, and I'm from Jamaica.
And
Maite from South Africa.
Okay, and of course I'm representing, Nigeria, Yoruba to be precise.
Exactly, I was about to say.
Even though they think I'm loud, I'm not loud. So yes.
Oh wow, I'm not loud. She's not loud. No, she's not. She's not loud. Like you're very quiet. You're very silent.
Yeah, actually, I'm very silent.
You're not loud.
Wow, yes. So let's get started first.
Here. Okay. Burgundy. Well, in Jamaica we say burgundy. Burgundy.
Burgundy. That's also wrong. Burgundy.
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 It's just that our son more
I knew you were waiting for me. See, I'm gonna form an accent.
I'm gonna form an accent. But why is it ending with I? No, why?
That's how it sounds.
It's why burgundy.
But you said D. Like
what did you say?
Burgundy.
Burgundy.
Okay. Surprised. Actually, Nigerian do say surprised.
Surprised. So
I know surprised, but we don't really say, like, we prefer to use the action.
Oh,
that's say.
So you don't
like we say. Okay, so in a sentence, let's say you wanted to say I was surprised. What do you now say?
So accurate, I say. No, what if somebody had a surprise party and you guys are like surprise? What do you guys?
That's different. That's you heard it. Surprise.
No, if you guys are just there like no.
Exactly. If I'm the celebrant, it's not to say, oh, I was surprised. I was like, oh my god.
When you entered the door, instead of saying surprise,
we literally forget the word surprise. So we don't
okay, surprised.
We just use the action.
Surprise.
Surprise.
Yeah.
Just use the action, like, oh my god, oh my god.
Yeah. It's like, hey, she's taking. What did we do? That's the highest level of big surprise.
Tomatoes. Or tomatoes.
Tomato.
And tomato.
Tomatoes.
Tomato.
Tomato. Why you mean?
Tomato. We just put like a U word or you.
Why?
I don't know. Just how it sounds.
Wow.
Tomato.
Are we wrong? No, we are not. Nigeria is never wrong.
English is a borrowed language. You just say what you want, so long as we can understand.
January, February. Or February. That's how actually my people say Buhari.
What? January, February.
What did you say?
What is that?
It's like
January,
red.
Yeah, January, February.
It's like you don't say February alone.
February. February. There's an R, guys. You need to
emphasize the R.
No, not emphasize. Say because it's there. It's not a silent
it's
R.
Too
Okay.
much emphasis.
Yeah.
We say January and February.
February.
Worry.
Worry.
Yes, I could put a W in there.
Communication.
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 Yeah, communication.
So you also say the Sean.
Yeah, communication. Yeah, I think this word is not so bad.
Okay.
The outsiders. Who is speaking?
No, more words are coming. Wait.
Right. Aluminum. Aluminum. We take out the I.
Where's the I?
Take it out.
Wow. Aluminium.
Okay.
Apparently,
it's an outsider.
Garage.
Class as well.
We not see the A. We say garage.
It's like you guys are always too fast that you don't want to say some letters. You just
garage.
You just
take
join
out
it. Wow. Okay.
No.
Nurse. Like a E? Not U.
Zero.
You say zero. Yeah, zero.
We actually say zero.
Yeah.
Zero.
You know, I don't know the difference.
Zero.
Some
people say zero, some people say zero, but the real Nigerian people say zero.
Zebra.
We say zero.
You say zero too?
Yes.
What do you guys call Z?
Z. Or Z.
Z.
It depends where you speak for us.
The two
probably the word. Probably depends on the Z word.
You know, in the verbs, it's Z.
Okay.
If you schooled
in the ghetto like us, it's Z. Who's good?
Yes,
like, okay, we have caramel.
Caramel.
Yeah, caramel.
We
don't ever use this word much, I guess.
What do you guys use instead?
It's just there. I don't know. Chocolate. Just chocolate.
Chocolate. Chocolate. And I was embarrassed with this word in secondary school. And I said chocolate. I was not the bush person. I was not like chocolate. Give me chocolate. And they were like, what
do other people call it?
Chocolate.
Yeah, it's chocolate.
Chocolate.
Oh, chocolate. They were teaching people how to spell. Yes,
that's what you said in the other video. Like Nigerians pronounce things the way that they are spelled.
Yeah, so.
Mother.
Jamaicans have so many names for this. It's Muma.
Oh no.
Mother.
Muma means mother?
Yeah, in Jamaica, Muma. So some people say
Muma.
like, yeah, oh no, that's a bad word. Don't tell no Jamaican that.
Oh, that's Muma.
Don't tell.
What does it mean?
It's like a derogatory phrase. Like whenever a Jamaican person is very upset, they're gonna tell you that. Oh. Very upset. Don't. Mama, mother, mums, yeah, stuff like that.
So what do you call it?
Mother.
Mummy. Yeah,
no, but that's what about the
that
TH?
too.
How do you pronounce this?
It's not there.
This don't exist in patois. TH don't exist in patois.
Really?
You don't have it? What about father?
Is that you don't have it?
Father. D-A. Yeah, father.
Yeah. So when you want to say thief?
Actually, right.
Thief.
Yeah.
What does
T? Tree.
But you guys too. Because teeth. You don't say teeth.
Oh, that's true.
The TH don't exist. Yeah. Alright, we say water. Yeah, water. W-A-T-A.
No ER.
No. It's even
I feel like you people are rushing.
It's even on the bottle, water.
Oh, even on the bottle.
Yeah, in advertisement, water.
Interesting. Water.
Yeah, it's water.
Lad, what?
That's UK, whatever. British.
Okay, choir.
Yeah, choir.
Choir.
You have?
It sounds like Q instead of CH. Choir.
I think all of us.
Choir.
Yeah. Umbrella.
Umbrella.
That sounds similar to this. Umbrella.
Yeah.
Umbrella. 30. 30. 30.
30. Or 30.
30 for us. 30.
You guys
know
pronounce
TH
the TH.
30.
We don't use that.
Thirsty. What do you say?
Thirsty.
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 Tasty.
Thirsty, like T-E-R.
Yeah, but how do you then say tasty?
Tasty.
Tasty.
Okay.
Tasty.
30.
30. 30 naira. 30 naira.
Yeah, 30 naira.
I think
it's easy for me.
It's easy.
Can you say that?
Yeah, I can.
Say 30.
30.
Yeah.
That's English.
Yeah, that's English. Thank you.
Anyways, moving on. Furniture.
Furniture.
That
sounds English.
That shade.
Furniture.
I
know, man.
Alright. So
I knew you were gonna bring this one.
Furniture. C-H-A.
Yeah.
Furniture. There's another old name for it, but I don't know.
Pleasure. You say it.
Pleasure. You are mixing too much with Nigerians. Evacuate yourself. Remove yourself before they.
I think we
They
said
will
pleasure.
bread.
Pleasure.
Pleasure.
Yeah, pleasure.
Pleasure.
Wednesday.
What happened to the NES?
No.
Wednesday.
Wednesday.
What is that?
That's not even English.
Wow! Wednesday. It's Wednesday. It's Wednesday.
Wednesday.
I know it's Wednesday, but
it's Wednesday.
Properly, if I want to talk to my fellow people, Wednesday.
You guys pronounce every letter.
Yeah.
Some way. Well, where they feel like it because they don't pronounce it.
You guys overemphasize the R. We say Wednesday.
Yeah,
Wednesday.
I'm coming on Wednesday.
Okay, so I have very many sweet, wonderful friends from these regions. Also Zimbabwe. I can't help but I just fall in love with their accents. They're so distinct. They're so different. And they're so representative of the history they come from. So what is the primary difference between the Nigerian English pronunciation and the South African? And how did the South African woman pronounce Wednesday differently from the other two? You might remember this right away. And number 3, how did the Jamaican accent differ strongly from the Nigerian and South African accents? If you need to go back and listen again, do it. The more you listen, the better for your ears right now at this point in the course. Okay, we're trying to warm you up. We're trying to warm up your ears here. The R. The Nigerian really hung on to her R and almost rolled it there a few times, but her R was very, very different from the South African. The South African woman pronounced Wednesday. And she said she knew that was incorrect, but she wanted to say it because English spelling was there. It was there. And perhaps one time in our history it was there, but that was really funny to me that she wanted to keep that in there. She really wanted to do that. Number 3, how did the Jamaican accent differ? She spoke more quickly and smoothed over some syllables. Like for garage is what the South African said versus garage, right? Which is actually more American pronunciation. We would say garage. If an American goes to Britain and somebody just said garage, they might not know what they mean until they pointed at it. So word stress is very important across the various English accents. All right, last but not least, Asia. Asia is a huge region, of course, but English has a lot of influence here in terms of the fact that it's either a national language or it's taught in schools from a young age. So this includes India, South Asia, the Philippines, Hong Kong, Malaysia, Singapore, and many of these regions are famous for having their own English, like Singlish, for example. So it's very interesting that many people in this area too are just like, no, we speak the proper English. So let's check it out. Huge area with many, many varieties of English accents because there are vast numbers of ethnic backgrounds and socioeconomic barriers between people groups. So Asia, much like the Africa or the Atlantic region, has a lot of socioeconomic barriers that really play a much greater part than the other regions do today. And there's a lot of reasons for this, a lot to go with their history in particular, but also their geography in particular. So you definitely want to read up on these regions if you choose to learn one of these accents. Historically, Britain was the one that brought English to these regions, but American culture is very popular there today in terms of movies and TV shows and music. American culture has really reached out and influenced English around the world with American English because of this, whereas Britain was the country that actually brought English to much of these regions and set up educational centers that taught, education in English, in British English. So what has happened over the years is a very fascinating difference where these cultures, these people take English and make it their own as part of their national identity. And so that's where you get things like Singlish. Very, very interesting. So paying attention to the history of these regions will aid your understanding of these English accents. I've got 2 videos for you in this region because one, there's just so much going on here in these regions, but we're going to look at 2 different vocabulary videos, and I want you to also hear their accents as they're speaking to kind of get an idea. Think in your mind, how are these different? How are these different? And answer these questions as you go.
Hello everyone, this is Korean Billy.
This is Singaporean Jeanette.
This is Filipino Paula.
This is Indian Arul.
And today we are going to find out Singaporean English, Filipino English, and Indian English vocabulary differences.
Billionaire.
I have prepared a set of different photos, and in each photo there's gonna be one object. Please let me know what you call that object in each photo. Even though you have your own Singlish, Filipino, and Indian, we all use English. So you have different styles of English, right?
Yeah.
So let's find out how they are different.
Okay.
Okay. So the first one is this one. Yep, that place.
Okay.
In Singapore, what do you call it?
We call it the toilet.
Toilet?
Simply the toilet.
And what about bathroom?
Toilet is more of a place that people go to when you're at the mall and stuff like that. But bathroom has more of an intonation of at home, because you can take a bath there.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Yeah, room with a bath.
Yes,
basically.
Correct. That's more like it.
Yeah. So what about in the Philippines?
CR.
CR?
Yeah, it's short for comfort room.
Comfort room?
Yeah.
I've heard that.
Wow.
So it's kind of weird if you ask someone hey, can you show me the toilet? Where's the toilet? We won't show you anything because we don't say that. When you're at malls, you say, excuse me, where's the CR?
Yeah.
So is it even written in CR?
Yeah.
Wow. Oh. What about India? What do you call it?
India, actually, we use 2 of them interchangeably. It's either the toilet or the washroom.
Washroom.
Yes. We don't use bathroom as much as washroom, but yeah, we just use washroom and toilet interchangeably, even though we know the difference, but it's just used very freely. So yeah, washroom I think is the most common one.
So what about bathroom?
Bathroom, again,
you can get it, right?
Yes, everyone knows the meaning, it's just what's more commonly used.
What about washroom back in Singapore?
Washroom, I think it's very similar to toilet also.
Yeah.
A bit different from bathroom. And washroom, we do use it, but it's a higher level, toilet, washroom, bathroom.
Yeah,
that's how you rank
yes.
it.
I kind of get that.
I think for toilet, I think it's just the specific object.
Oh,
is that also the same in the Philippines?
Yeah,
when you
I
say
guess so.
toilet, it's just one thing.
It's understood as well, but we don't normally use the term toilet. Bathroom as well, where's the bathroom? Yeah. Oh, well, it's blue.
Do you use loo?
No.
In India, you do.
You do.
Loo is very common.
It's understood, but people don't be do you want to go to the loo?
That would be a bit awkward.
Yeah, it's a bit awkward. You'll be where are you from?
Okay, and the next one is this one. In Singapore, what do you call it?
Usually we call it brinjal.
Oh, brinjal.
Or eggplant.
Eggplant.
But more brinjal, like eggplant is not so common, I think.
Brinjal. Wow.
Yeah.
That sounds kind of like Indian or something.
Yeah, he's like nodding his head. Like,
yeah, now waiting for your turn. Okay. Now, what about in the Philippines?
Eggplant.
Eggplant. Have you not heard of like brinjal?
No, it's my first time.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it right? I'm doubting myself. It is, right? It is. Okay.
So maybe you
Trust
can't
me.
understand if someone says, "Can I get one brinjal?"
No,
or
not
something
at
like
all.
that.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
In India?
Yes, I mean eggplant, everyone knows what an eggplant is, but it's almost non-existent in the way we speak. It's definitely a brinjal. Like that's the
Brinjal.
first thing that
really?
came, nothing else.
Ooh.
You go to even the biggest of the marts, it'll be brinjal, not an eggplant. Yes.
Yes, brinjal.
It's definitely brinjal.
So is it actually the Indian word?
I
Brinjal?
think
It sounds like
might
an Indian
be.
word.
Yeah.
I think it might have, because a lot of the vegetables have such an Indian
That's true. That's
origin. Another one comes to my mind, like okra, right?
Ah.
That's called lady's finger in India.
Yeah. We call it lady's finger too.
Yes. So I think that's similar to this, because usually it's called an eggplant, but in India it's only brinjal.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And in British style, it's also called aubergine. Have you heard of
I've
that?
heard of that.
Yeah. But are you not familiar with that?
No, I mean, I've heard of it because I've been there, but wow, I've never heard of it.
But you would call it brinjal.
Yes, definitely brinjal. Aubergine is
Aubergine
so
is like too
sophisticated.
foreign,
Right. Can I have one aubergine, please?
Too long.
What about your aubergine? Is it still strange?
It's strange, but I've also heard of it. But we don't really use it in the Philippines. Just eggplant.
Eggplant. It's simple, yeah, eggplant as well. And the next one is this one. In Singapore, what do you call this place?
Usually we call it the petrol station.
Petrol station.
Yeah, like if you wanna, like for example, you just wanna fill up oil for a car, and then they'll be like, oh, let's go to the petrol station.
Petrol
That's
station.
the most common. But I don't think there's any other thing. There's no other word for it, I think.
Yeah, let's find out. What about in the Philippines?
Gas station.
Gas
Yeah.
station. Not petrol
Literally,
station?
no.
Have you never used like petrol station for
Not
this?
at all.
I've never used gas station.
You're like confused now.
Yeah, I'm like,
I'm confused.
Really? You too as well?
Yes.
Like in India, what
in
do you
India,
call
it's
it?
called a petrol pump.
A pump?
Like, we would get the meaning of a station, but no one ever uses station. It's like the petrol pump.
Then do you say like, let's go to the petrol pump?
Yes.
Not station?
No.
that's wrong English, yo.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
I mean,
It
pump
has
is not a
pumps.
Pump
space.
is the
Yeah.
Exactly.
That one.
It has pumps.
Yeah, it has pumps, but you can't go to the pump.
Yeah, you should go to the
must
station.
go to the station.
You go to the station first and use a pump.
Yes.
What about gas pump? That would be very confusing, right? Gas pump.
I have heard it being called like a petrol station, gas station, or even an oil station.
Oh, okay,
But the
oil.
most common one is petrol pump.
Wow, that's
so
interesting.
interesting, yeah.
Yeah. Also, like petrol pump. That would be so strange to you as well. You're also confused as well.
But there might be another reason for this. Like there are certain stations where there's just one pump. This is, you have like a convenience store or something where you can, but there are actual stations in India where you just have like 2 petrol pumps, that's it.
And that's the next one. I think there are many ways to call this device in Singapore.
Usually we just call it the phone.
Phone.
Yeah.
Just a phone. Where's my phone?
Yeah, where's my
Your
phone?
But
Yeah.
what would be kind of like official?
Handphone. Casually, if you want to speak with like your friends, you usually use phone.
What
Rare
about
to-
at a store? What would it be written in?
phone?
Phone. Just phone?
Yeah, I think phone.
What about in the Philippines?
In older generation, it was used to call mobile phones or
Mobile
mobile,
phone.
but nowadays it's just cell phone.
Cell
A
phone.
Yeah.
Cell phone. So even that smartphone is cell phone.
Yeah, cell
And
phone.
the wire
It's phone.
is also
Telephone.
telephone. Telephone, cell phone. That's confusing. And in India?
When you're speaking about it, it's just a phone. But more formally, I think that would be like a smartphone. Smartphone is very commonly seen in shops and all. Smartphone. Maybe a cell phone or a handphone too. A cell phone is more common. A cell phone and smartphones are common. When you're just referring to it colloquially, it's just a phone.
Phone, right.
You remember those old phones with buttons on them?
Yeah.
I would refer to that as a mobile.
Mobile,
rather
right.
than-
It's literally smartphone,
Right.
but we don't usually say, where's my smartphone, or
Yeah.
I'm looking for my smartphone, right?
I think it's also because like nowadays, smartphone is the only phone that we have.
Yeah.
I think that's why it became very universally.
Yeah, so when you say a phone,
used.
you know it's just smartphone.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
And next one is this one. What do you call this place?
So in Singapore, we just say cinema.
Cinema. Then in the Philippines?
Now I'm confused. In my mind, I will call it movie theater, but
Movie theater.
I think it's the same, cinema.
I think both make sense for Filipino people, right? In India?
It's not just cinema in India, it's cinema hall.
Cinema hall?
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
It's either a cinema hall or like a movie theater.
Movie
theater. Just a theater. But I think cinema hall is pretty commonly used in India.
Cinema hall sounds more sophisticated.
Yeah.
It sounds more concert hall like that.
Yeah.
I think like movie theater is American way and cinema is British way. So yeah.
For Singapore, if you say theater, it's more of like a play.
Yeah.
More than watching something from a screen.
Play or musical.
Yes,
something like that.
something like that.
Yeah. And the next one is this one. In Singapore,
Roundabout.
roundabout.
Yes.
And in the Philippines,
Rotonda.
whoa, sorry, I was confused.
Rotonda.
English?
Yeah.
Rotunda?
Yeah, it's more like Spanish.
I think the same
Roundabout?
Yeah, roundabout.
Roundabout in India
Roundabout.
as well. Have you heard of like rotunda before?
No.
Actually, I'm not sure. Maybe it's a Filipino word because we don't really use English in the Philippines, like the road signs and everything.
That makes sense.
In American English, I think it's called rotary.
Oh,
Rotary.
yes.
Heard of
Rotary.
rotary?
Yeah, rotary, I've heard it.
So that's English actually.
Rotary is
Oh my God.
rotunda,
Yeah,
maybe?
yeah.
It's kind of similar.
Yeah.
But Rotary reminds me of like a Rotary club, so...
Really?
Yeah, actually we don't say rotary. So what I said is actually Tagalog.
Can you also understand roundabout?
It's my first time hearing it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, so in this particular video, who was the most different of the three, of Singapore, the Philippines, and India? Who was the most different in their English? What did the Indian English speakers say that was so different from the others? And who has the most influence from Spanish? If you need to go back and listen. Again, it's not a waste of time for your listening. The Philippines was the most different, perhaps because it has the most influence from Spanish of the three regions. And the Indian English speaker, he said petrol pump. And it's because, he explained it in the video, but he said it's because oftentimes you go somewhere that's literally just a pump in the ground, or maybe two pumps, but there won't be any store. There's just a pump or two for petrol. So when he first said that, I did not understand at all what he was talking about, because in America, we don't say petrol. We kind of know what it is, but it's not something that we actively use. So petrol, I didn't know. Pump, for me, is like the actual device that pumps things. And he said the same thing. But because of the culture and the way things have developed where he is from, it's possible for there to be a place where there's just a pump instead of a full-on station like there is in the States. So I thought that was fascinating. All right, go ahead and watch this video. This is Malaysia, Hong Kong, the US, and the UK. These are a lot of vocabulary differences here. Pay attention to their accent. Very different accents, though they are so close.
Hello everyone, this is Korean Billy.
Malaysian Cadence. Hong Konger Amanda.
Welcome.
Billionaire.
Because I am joined by my friends from different countries, I'm going to do some word differences video. American, British, and Malaysian, and Hong Kong style English. I'm going to show you photos and tell me what you call the object in the photo. So the first one is this one. It's like a fancy house. In American English and British English as well, we call it mansion.
Oh,
mansion. In your country, what do you call it?
In Malaysia, we call it bungalow.
Bungalow? Have you heard of bungalow before?
No.
What the hell is bungalow?
Yeah, Yeah, the mansion, like a big house, and it's alone. Around there is the garden and everything, so it's bungalow.
For rich people, usually.
Yeah.
What? Why? You look so confused.
It's hard to find in Hong Kong.
Only rich people, really rich people. I think in Kowloon Tong.
Rich area?
Rich area, really rich area. I'm not familiar with this, but I think it's called mansion.
Mansion as well. Do you
We
use
don't
mansion?
really use the word mansion. We only use like bungalow, and it's a half bungalow. We call it semi-D.
I think even for British people, bungalow is usually first story house, not more than one floor. For me, bungalow is more like a cottage style in an outland, stuff like that. And the next one is this one. So that device. In American English, it's usually cell phone, but in British English, it would be called a mobile. In Malaysian English,
Malaysian.
What
I
about
think
you?
we just call it a phone.
phone.
During our school days, we call it a mobile phone. After, there's a smartphone right now, so I think we just call it phone.
What about you in Hong Kong?
We also call it mobile phone.
Mobile phone. It's kind of following British style English, I would say. Do you also use mobile? Just that word. Where's my mobile?
I don't think so.
Where's my phone?
Yeah, where's my phone?
In Korea, we usually call it handphone as well, right? What about you?
I just call it phone. I'm actually not really sure if Malaysian will understand that or not.
I call it mobile phone when I was in Hong Kong, but now I call it phone. Just phone.
Never cell phone.
Cell phone. Maybe it's like inside the drama, not in the daily life.
I heard it, but we just say mobile phone or phone.
Mobile phone. Okay, and the next one is this one. So this could vary, I guess. In American English, it would be gas station. In British English, that would be a petrol station.
Oh yeah.
In your country?
Petrol station.
Oh, petrol station for you.
We
from
get
there.
petrol, not gas.
Right. What about you in Hong Kong?
Petrol station.
Petrol station as well.
Also familiar to gas station.
Gas station?
I came to Korea and then I only know what is the gas station.
What about service stations? This kind of, yeah. Like on highways, there is a kind of station where there are restaurants, toilet.
What do I call that?
Yeah.
Hong Kong, I think Hong Kong is not that big.
So there is no like highway stations for that. Have you ever been there?
Yeah. There's quite some of that.
But usually your parents drive
Yeah,
and you just go to
and
toilet.
we're actually not really like going to stay there for a long time.
Yeah, but there must be a name for
Yeah,
that,
I
right?
think so.
Do you agree that you use British style English then?
Yeah, I kind of agree because when I came to Korea, there's a lot of things different.
In Korea, it's usually
God.
based on American
That's
English,
right.
right? That was strange to you.
And ground floor.
First floor.
First
my
floor.
God.
In Korea, first floor is
Ground
floor. Second floor is first floor. But in your country, G and
Yeah,
1,
G,
2, 3.
yeah.
You too?
That's
G,
right,
1, 2, 3.
yeah.
Oh, that must be confusing. Yeah.
Yes.
Let's check out the next one. This one, both in American English and British English, that must be a stamp.
Oh.
What do you call it?
We call it stamp and also chop.
You call it.
I think everyone knows what's chop and stamp together. I need a chop.
Where's the chop? Look
Yeah,
like that.
just depends on what you want to say.
For me, I use that.
You've never used that? Chop?
I heard this once from a Hong Kong people. Chop.
I used.
You used chop
Used
before.
chop before.
But in like American English and British English, chop can never mean a stamp.
Yeah.
But where is chop come from?
Chop
Maybe this
something.
action
Yeah.
looks like chopping, right? Let's check out the next one. Okay, so that space, American English, that would be parking lot, and in British English, that must be car park. What about you?
Car park.
Car park.
Yeah. Or parking.
Parking. Ah.
Parking.
Do you say my car is in parking?
How do I say that?
Yeah.
My car is in a car park.
Where is the parking?
Yeah, where's the parking?
Oh, where is the parking?
I think that's kind of Manglish.
That's why it's grammatically wrong. No, what about you?
We call it car park.
Car park,
yeah.
literally the park for cars,
Yeah.
right? Would you understand parking lot as well?
If I hear that, I will understand it.
Yeah, that's right.
But people in Hong Kong would never say parking lot.
Yeah.
That would sound a bit strange.
Yeah.
Did you study in America, something like that? What about you in Malaysia? What about parking lot?
No, not lot.
Not
Just
lot.
parking.
You would rather say parking lot. Rather than lot, right? There's a parking lot. For Hong Kong people and Malaysian people, American English would be also okay to communicate, right?
Yeah, that's right. And some radio in Malaysia, they actually talk in the American way. So it like got a lot of influence from British America and also Malaysia, Singapore.
Do you remember like any American words people back in your country would use?
Cotton candy?
Yeah, cotton candy.
What about candy floss? What about candy floss?
I heard of it, but didn't use it before. Or maybe French fries and chips. We actually just use French fries.
You use French fries as well?
That's
We
right.
use French fries.
Yeah. If we have the fish and chips, we know that the chips is the French fries. Yeah.
I think we won't say chips. Chips is potato chips.
Snacks. What about crisps?
Don't really use the word crisp.
Crisps. Okay, and the next one is this one. This one. In American English, bathroom. In British English, that would be toilet. What do you call
In my
it?
country, I think we call it washroom.
Oh, washroom.
And also toilet.
Toilet as
Yeah,
well.
but bathroom is literally a place to have shower and bath. So
bath.
we won't say it a bathroom.
Room for a bath.
Yeah.
In Hong Kong?
We use toilet.
Toilet.
Yes.
What about bathroom?
It's different from toilet, but
Or
we
bathroom.
call the toilet in our home bathroom.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
But in the department store in Malaysia, we call it washroom or toilet. It's the same.
Have you heard of like WC as well?
Inside the drama.
Drama.
Inside drama.
What kind of dramas do you watch?
Okay, here are your questions. How does the Hong Kong English speaker sound most different from the Malaysian English speaker? Number 2, whose English is influenced by British English? We could say the most. Number 3, what does the Malaysian speaker say about which English-speaking countries influence Malaysian English the most? This is your listening comprehension practice here. The vowels and the L sound were very different in Hong Kong English versus Malaysian English. And part of this is because Hong Kong's first language is Cantonese. They also often speak Mandarin, standard Mandarin. So those two languages, the vowel sounds are a bit different and there is no L. Well, there is an L, but not at the end of words. And so for her to say the L at the end of words, which is very, very common English, was actually somewhat difficult. And she's done a great job of learning it and learning how to say it, but it's definitely distinctly different from how most English speakers speak. This is very common in Hong Kong. So whose English was influenced by British? Both Hong Kong and Malaysian English. You can tell this by history. And then the Malaysian speaker said that her vocabulary that was different from the Hong Kong person is because Malaysia has a lot of influence also from America and Singapore, perhaps more so than Hong Kong. Hong Kong was definitely distinctly British English where it was spoken, but they have their own mixture as well. They've also taken English and changed it to their region and to make it Hong Kong English. But Malaysian English is definitely, she had more vocabulary words from America for sure in this video alone. So, and of course Singapore is it's right there with Malaysia. So also there's a lot of influence from them. All right, so I have a location pop quiz for you, kind of geographical, but kind of also accent and linguistics focused. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to name an accent, and I want you to place it in one of those 5 broad regions, either Britain and Scotland or Ireland area, Asia, Africa and the Atlantic, Oceania, or North America. All right, Kiwi English. Where did this come from? You might have guessed it. Oceania, alongside over there. Some maps, fun fact, do not have New Zealand, and I don't know why. New Zealand does exist. They speak Kiwi English, so there you go. Namibian English, where does this one come from? Is in Africa and the Atlantic region. Okay, Scottish English. Okay, they might say Scottish. Scottish English is spoken in Britain and the Ireland accent areas. The Falkland Islands. If one is going to be the most difficult for you, it's probably this one. Africa and the Atlantic. And then Singapore English. Pretty easy, right? This one is Asia. Okay, those are the 5 regions. So make sure you remember these 5 regions. I will divide most of the rest of this course into these 5 regions, and then we'll explore some of the major accents at play inside those regions. Again, I really don't have time to do all of these accents justice, but I will do my best to give you what the most prominent ones in the area are. English is a global language with many, many varieties, and some of those differences are pretty huge. Sometimes we don't understand each other. Actually, I could probably say more than sometimes. There's a lot of times where I have not understood another person whose English is also native to them, their first language, but it's because they come from another region of the world where they have different vocabulary and different slang, which makes it really hard to understand sometimes. So definitely keep in mind, when you are studying English, it is wise for you to choose one accent to really listen to and learn the vocabulary of. Because if you try to learn how a New Yorker pronounces things, then somebody from New Zealand might not understand you, right? So very important to choose based on what kind of English you want to know. You can learn English, but know that it's going to be influenced by one accent more than another. All right, next we're going to talk about what pronunciation is. We're going to talk about the elements that make it up, and then we're going to jump into the IPA. I'll see you in the next one.